actually hear myself. And then the Q&A will commence. I'm just going onto the group. Where's me? Maybe I can hear it on here. If my face looks a little bit red, it's because it is. One, it's quite a hot day. I can't believe it's gone really hot. And two, I did get a little bit burnt on the Edale Skyline Challenge, but huge well done to everyone who did the challenge. Absolutely smashed it. So we did 21 miles in the Peak District on Saturday. Everyone did so well. And we're going to do another one next year. I think we're making it like a bit of a tradition now. So if you missed out and you're thinking, oh, I wish I would have been able to do it, then don't worry. I'm going to organise another one. I'm just going to out and you're thinking, oh, okay, you can hear me. I just want to check you can hear me. I'm going to get the questions up. And while I do get the questions up, team, firstly, thank you everybody for your questions. The more questions, the better, as always. So thank you so much. And I've got two little things that I want to share with you this week. So thing one is I've sent everybody an email out about a nutrition workshop I'm doing on Sunday. So I've had quite a few questions about nutrition, and I thought it'd be really good to do a bit more of a deep dive into it. So I thought I'll host a nutrition workshop. So we're doing it on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Everyone is welcome to come. They just need to sign up. It automatically sends them the link to the meeting. And then if you can't make it, everyone who's signed up, we will send the replay to you. I'll also put it on the members side, team. So I'll put it under coaching. You know, we've got that coaching button, and I'll also put it in the nutrition section as well. So you'll have it there. But hopefully you can join me live, because it'll be a really good opportunity to ask questions and to bounce off each other as well. And for me to get a better understanding of, you know, where to take the workshop. For example, if I get loads of questions on a particular topic, then I can take it down that route, down that road. And then secondly, we have started the brand new 6-week reboot. So we've had some squaddies go through it. We've had non-squaddies go through it or start to go through it. We've been going for, well, what day is it? It's Tuesday. A week. But what we're doing now is everyone can start with us every Monday. So if you've got any family or friends who are interested in joining the squad, or you want to go through the reboot yourself, you can totally do that. Just get in touch with us. You go to the website, click get started, or you can just message me and we'll sort you out. We'll sort you right out. So that was one thing I wanted to say. I'm sure there's loads of other things that I wanted to say, but it is really, really great to see everybody just getting back into routine with the fitness. And if you feel like you're really struggling to get motivated and to get back into routine and back on track, just know that's completely normal, and you've got to draw a line. You have to draw a line. The only way you won't see results with your workouts or with your weight loss, if that's your aim, or with building strength, if that's your aim, or improving your diet, is if you give up too early. You give up too early, of course you're not going to get results. It's all about just taking it bit by bit, making the necessary tweaks that you need to make, and also following guidance and asking for advice when you need it. You know, we're here for you. We're here to give you advice, to give you that guidance when you need it the most. That's exactly what we're here for. And also why I'm here every week, every Tuesday now, going live with you guys. Now this, I personally think, is the biggest Q&A we've ever had. I have 29 questions, gang. So a lot of them I'm going to do short answers, because I'm some of them can be short, concise answers, and some of them I'm going to need like a little bit more elaboration. So but obviously 29 questions. I don't want to leave you sitting here for like 2 hours with me, because I could definitely talk for 2 hours. So let's get to it. Let's get going. The questions, I'm going to answer them in the order that they come up. So I'm going to go on to all of them. Right. Question 1. What do you do when you're poorly? I should have been going away with work for 3 days, packed my HDMI cable and everything, but instead I'm stuck at home with some virus or other. I'm definitely not doing my planned cardio. I was thinking of doing a yoga on demand, but right now everything just hurts. Do I give it a few days and come back to some more gentle classes? Now, firstly, I want to say, that's rubbish. It's so rubbish and so frustrating when you're ill. And I think sometimes when you're ill, it makes you appreciate the times that you're not ill even more, doesn't it? I think we just take our health and our fitness for granted so much. Now, the priority when your body isn't strong and it's not feeling well is to allow yourself rest. your body will use any energy, any extra energy that it can to fight off whatever you're having. If you are using that energy up in workouts, then it's less for your body to use to get you better, to help you get better. So you're going to be ill for longer unless you do something really gentle, nice stretch. So one thing I would say, for example, sometimes if you've got a cold or a flu, sometimes doing just a nice stretch can ease the muscles a little bit, because you can get quite a lot of tension when you're not very well, can't you? And so just a really nice gentle stretch. But apart from that, health and well-being is more than just workouts, right? It's about actually listening to your body and thinking, okay, what does my body need right now? My body needs rest right now. It also needs as much sleep as I can get. It also needs good hydration and good nourishment. So they're the things that you want to focus in on: your nourishment, your hydration, and resting up. Then when you come back to it, just take it bit by bit, ease yourself in and monitor how you feel. You might need more breaks. You might need to start off at a lower intensity. You might need to do shorter workouts just for the first week or so. So just really monitor it. But no, I would say give it a few days. As you said, give it a few days. Come back with some gentle classes, depending on how you feel. It depends what it is, doesn't it? So it depends on the context, what it is, and how ill you have been. But just being sensible. Question 2, are there any recommended supplements I should take? With supplements, it depends on the person. Depends what your goals are, what maybe you might be deficient in yourself. I would say, as with anything, food first and foremost. We need to be eating a variety so that you can make sure you're pretty much ticking off all the necessary vitamins and minerals and everything that your body needs. So that's the first thing. Are you eating a variety? Are you having foods with vitamin D in, vitamin C, calcium? Or if you don't know, are you just eating variety at your meals and in your snacks? Then if I was to say any supplementation as like a real general kind of rule, if you live in the UK, particularly as we go into winter, maybe some vitamin D. It's going to be beneficial for your bones. Some magnesium for muscle recovery, and then some omega-3s. So that can be good for the brain. It can also be good for your joints. So they're the things that I would recommend, just as like a real generic kind of thing. Personally, I have calcium and vitamin D. Sometimes take like a multivitamin as well, but I'm really terrible. I'm such a bad example because I take vitamin D and calcium, and Laura can vouch for this. She came over last week, and we like have a working day together. She came over and I was like, do you want a Jolly Jelly? What's a Jolly Jelly? They're my vitamins. And they are for adults, I'm just saying. Chewy vitamins for adults. Just make it more fun. Moving on. Next question. What are your top 3 resistant band workouts for toning the bum, tum, and love handles? Okay. Resistant band workouts, get yourself on body conditioning. So it's called body conditioning, but our body conditioning is our booty band area. Get yourself on there. I mean, off the top of my head, the one that we did a few weeks ago was really fun. So the newest one on there, there's a really good soundtrack. I'll let you have a look at it. But if you want like a gritty soundtrack, that's a good one. For the love handles, Pilates, you can actually type in love handles into on demand, and we've done like Pilates love handles. But the love handles, it's a nice affectionate term for our obliques, or the little bit of skin just there. But basically, the muscles in your sides are called your obliques. So anything that kind of targets the obliques will help to tone the love handles. So I would say, bum, tum, love handles, tum and love handles, Pilates. For toning the butt, you want the body conditioning workout with the resistance band. Is there a search function on the website to make it more specific when we're searching for certain things we feel like doing? Ooh, so you have got the search bar, so you can type whatever you want in there and lots of things come up. And if you feel like something, or you're not sure what you feel like, you can use the workout generator. So just go on there, tell it like how you want to feel. So if you want to feel like you've worked your butt, for example, or if you want to feel re-energized or you want to feel relaxed, you just go on there, tell it how you want to feel, and it picks the workout for you. It's amazing. when you have an injury, is it okay to just work one side? Generally speaking, we want to be working both sides equally. And also, if we have an injury, that side is potentially going to be a bit weaker than the other side. So do we really want to make our stronger side stronger whilst the other one is getting weaker? And the reason I say that, it can cause imbalances. And then when you're trying to recover and do rehab, then it can get more complicated. I'm not saying, no, don't do anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, is that a priority right now? Or could we be doing different type of workouts until you can start rebuilding in that area? I mean, really, that's just a penny for my thoughts, but really it's a question for physio or for a medical professional in that field. But that's just kind of how I would be thinking about it. I'd be thinking about, okay, like, I don't want to be really, really building loads of strength in the other side whilst the other side is still getting weaker. So what can I do? What can I do right now? And it depends on what you're doing. So if you're obviously like building loads of strength, say you've done something to, I don't know, your shoulder, for example, and you just work one shoulder and that shoulder gets really strong and the other shoulder is really weak. Can you see what I mean? It could potentially cause some imbalances around your body. So I don't know. I would say it just depends on what you're doing, really. What you're doing. Say if you're doing Zumba and you've got your arm in a sling and the other arm just wants to be, flying around in the air doing the Zumba moves, then I don't really see the harm. It's just when it comes to, what are you doing with that other side? I know that's it's a bit of a difficult question to ask, but it's definitely one for a physio. But I hope you see where I'm getting at with that one. I'm going on holiday soon and I won't have weights to do stronger. Is a booty band workout a good replacement? Alternatively, what would you recommend as a strength workout on holiday? Yeah, booty band's great. Booty band's brilliant. And if you're going on holiday, check out the holiday section. There's some workouts on there that you can do if you don't have Wi-Fi. There's also to do, not to do podcast. There's a little guidebook in there with some written workouts with a huge variety of different things. So I'd definitely go and check that out. But great that you're thinking of packing it to go on holiday. Brilliant. Booty band's so great, isn't it? You just fold it up and take it with you. So yeah, check out the holiday section. Been reading about fasting and how beneficial it can be for cell renewal, immune system boost, anti-aging. Do you have any advice or thoughts on it? Yes and no. So the research is upcoming with fasting. I don't think there really is fully solid evidence yet about everything, all the benefits that are suggested from it. I have to be very careful with what I say here because fasting is one of those things that is, it works for some people. It depends on what you're trying to achieve with it. So if you're trying to achieve weight loss, for example, it works for some people, essentially, because it puts them in a calorie deficit. They're missing a meal, and it puts them into a calorie deficit, so it works for them. For other people, doing fasting, say if you've had an eating disorder, or if you have disordered eating, or if you are a perimenopausal or menopausal woman, or you're a woman going through a lot of stress or struggling with her hormones right now, fasting can be really detrimental. So it just depends on you as a person as to whether it is beneficial. So if this is for weight loss, for example, the reason that fasting works for weight loss is because it puts you into a calorie deficit. So calorie deficit meaning that the energy out is greater than the energy in. So therefore you lose weight, you lose body fat. But the only reason it does that is because you're just not having as much. There's no magical science around meal timing. Some people find that it can help with their digestion. Other people find that actually their blood sugar levels just dip so dramatically and they feel a bit shaky. I would say from a personal standpoint, as an active person, like a really active person, it's not beneficial for me. And if you are an active person, it is something to think about because how do you want to show up and perform in your workouts, and will fasting affect it? It is very, very kind of subjective. But there's more research coming out about it. So if it's something that interests you, I would try it, see if it works for you, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, then the best thing to do is just find that healthy balance for you. Live a healthy, balanced lifestyle and think about fueling your body, energizing your body, nourishing the body. Weight loss has plateaued again and actually risen a tiny bit. I'm doing lots of sessions and eating well, but I'm not sleeping enough. Can sleep deprivation cause this? Now, with the weight loss that's plateaued, and you feel like it has risen a little bit, you're doing lots of sessions, eating well, right, there's a few things here. So first thing, we want to get to the bottom of why the weight loss has plateaued. So if that's your goal, if that's your aim, appreciate it's not everybody's aim, but if that is your aim and it has plateaued and actually even risen a little bit, there's a few things at play. The first thing that comes to my mind is you're not in a calorie deficit anymore. And what happens when we lose weight is our body mass actually reduces. So for you as a person, there is actually less of you. There's actually less of you in scientific terms, in mass. There's less of you there. So your metabolism is going to be less because there is less of you. So you need to adjust your portion sizes accordingly. So if you find that you hit a plateau, then it's really important to monitor it, adjust your portion sizes. So say reduce the portion sizes by 20%, monitor it for another 3 or 4 weeks, see where it's going, where it's trending. I also would be interested in knowing how often you're weighing yourself and what time of day. So if you are going to use weight as a measurement, remember you don't have to use weight as a measurement. You can use a measurement such as, well, you can use a tape measure if you want, but I was thinking more along the lines of taking a photo of yourself, or so progress pictures, or you can measure your outcomes. So are you hitting your nutrition, your exercise, your sleep, which I'd recommend you do anyway, and how you're feeling in yourself, how you're showing up, and also how your clothes fit and how your clothes feel. They're really good measures of progress, but don't forget that a weight is actually just a number on a scale. And if you've been doing a lot of workouts, that number might not be fully reflective of your health and your fitness. For example, if you're doing a lot of strength and you are increasing your muscle mass, muscle is more dense than fat. So some people find that actually their body shape is completely changing. So they're looking really like more toned and really shapely, and the figure that they've always been after, but the scale weight's gone up. And that's just because of their muscle mass. So bear those things in mind. Make sure if you are going to use your weight, weigh yourself every day at the exact same time, first thing in the morning. Take the lowest weight of the week and compare that week to week. We're trying to get a piece of data here, and that's all it is. It's a piece of data. Get that piece of data and then use it as a comparison over the weeks, and then you can actually see where the trends are. It takes out some of the fluctuations that we get day to day. So that's what I would say. And I would say, if you are weighing yourself like before you go to bed, that's absolutely useless. Like, after you've had a day of eating and drinking different things, don't bother with that. If you're weighing yourself at all different times of the day, that's useless. If you're weighing yourself once a week, useless. Just do it. Well, it's not useless, but you know what I mean. Just do it at the same time every day. So I would say adjust portion sizes, number 1, if you're doing all those things, ticking those off. Number 2, sleep deprivation is linked to weight gain. Yes. And the reason it is linked to weight gain is because of what it makes us do as humans. We all know that when we've had a rubbish night's sleep, we're not really going to show up as our best selves the next day. Let's be honest. We can try. We can still have a good day. We can still have a great day. We can still be firing. But we're not going to be optimum. We're not going to be optimum Lorna if I have a rubbish night's sleep, and especially if I do that on a consistent basis. And the reason it can affect your weight loss journey is because it actually messes around with your hormones a little bit. So it increases ghrelin, which is a hormone that tells you that you are hungry and to eat more. And it reduces leptin, which is the hormone that says, hey, I'm full, I've had enough. So it can play around with those so you can feel more hungry. And quite often, because if we've not slept very well, our energy is going to be a little bit lower. So our body is looking to crave things to get fast energy into our system. So we find that we're more tired, so our decision making is a bit poor. We're actually feeling hungrier because ghrelin is up. That's how you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it anyway. Because ghrelin is up and our body is craving energy. It needs fast energy now. So therefore, we're going to be reaching for things, or sneaking the odd thing here and there. And I'm not saying that you're doing that, but this is generally what happens to us as humans. This is what we do. So that can play an effect. And also it could increase our cortisol levels. It's also linked, lack of sleep is linked to cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. So yes, it can be linked. But at the end of the day, it is about what we put into our mouths. And only we are in control of that. So just because say for example, I eat, I don't know, let's say a cupcake, just for example, or a chocolate bar. If I eat a chocolate bar after having a rubbish night's sleep, or a chocolate bar after having a really good night's sleep, the same energy is still going into my body. It is still going to have the same effect. Chances are, though, when you've been making really good decisions and you're really on it and you've had a really good sleep and you're feeling really energized, you're more likely to make better decisions, as opposed to, oh, I'm absolutely exhausted. Oh yeah, someone says, oh, do you want some chocolate? Yeah, oh yeah, please, I'll have that. Or you're just tired. So yes, it can be linked, but I would be looking at what we're putting in here when you're weighing yourself, and also what you're putting into your body, reducing the portion sizes here if we found that plateau. What ratio of classes should I be doing each week, i.e. cardio versus strength, etc.? It depends on your goals. So what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to improve your cardio fitness so you can race up the stairs or you can run a 5K? Are you trying to improve your mobility and flexibility so that you can touch your toes, so that your back doesn't hurt as much, so you can feel more free in your body, so your hips are looser? Or are you trying to shape and tone your body or improve your bone density? So what are your goals? If your goals are like, yeah, Lorna, all of the above, and you're just looking for a round kind of routine, I always say, starting with the strength, absolute minimum 2 a week. So you want 2 strength classes minimum a week, and that's for everybody who is in the squad. That's everyone, all populations, all humans. 2 strength classes a week, so using some resistance, like whether it's your own body, it can even be your own body. Ideally it would be with a barbell or some hand weights or a booty band, but it could be with your own body. And then from there I would incorporate some cardio, and I'd also put in some holistic, and it depends on how much time you have. It depends on, so how much time have you got? Could you use a bolt-on? So if we do, say for example, a stronger class in the morning, that's strength, could you then do a bolt-on of 10 minutes of Pilates, for example? So then you've ticked in some core work, or a yoga scape straight after, so you've done some balance and then some release for your muscles. So it's completely up to you, really. There's not a perfect ratio, but I would just start with the strength and then add in what you can. And just remember, on the upper end, you need at least minimum 1 rest day. So thinking about the guidelines for exercise, so you've got 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, and that can also include like gardening or vigorous cleaning, brisk walking. So like our power walking, our Pilates, things like that. Or 75 minutes of vigorous. So that'd be like this morning, doing our fitness test, or a combat, or an aerobics, or a spin, or a stronger, or potentially a Zumba, depending on how hard you go. Moderate to vigorous, that one maybe. So using those guidelines, then think, okay, they're the recommended minutes of exercise. Now, I've got my 2 strength workouts in there. Okay, so that's 40 minutes of more on the vigorous side. Obviously, it depends on how heavy you're going with your weights, but say we're challenging ourselves here. So that's 40 minutes on the vigorous side. So you could either do like 35 more minutes of, and that's if you do 20 minutes stronger. You might even do the 30 minutes stronger. So if you do that, then you've got 15 minutes left of vigorous. Or you could do some more moderate. So say you do that, say you did 2 strongers and you've got 15 minutes left of vigorous. I'd do a cardio, and then I would complement it with a Pilates or a yoga somewhere else in the week, 1 or 2. Do you see what I mean? But it depends on what you want. If you absolutely love like the combat, the aerobics, and you really want to improve your cardio fitness, then incorporate those. One thing I would suggest is, if you really don't know, come along, choose a time on the timetable, So we've got 6:30, 9:30, and then they're repeated in the evening if you can't make the morning. They're repeated live, so you still get to do them live, at 5:30 and 6. If you choose a time, for example, 6:30 in the morning, and you follow that, or you could follow it on demand even, I will make sure that you get a good variety in. I will make sure you tick all those boxes. So that's what you need to do. All you need to do is just show up. Show up, come to class, or follow it on demand, and I've got you sorted. How to not see exercise as a chore. So I do get this question, and I think sometimes the more you do it, the more you fall in love with it. And we all know that we need to exercise. Like it's not a lie. It's not a joke. Like, you have to be moving your body to live a good, high quality life. Like, it's something that we have to do. So how do we not see it as a chore or something that we have to do? So one thing you can do is reframe it in your mind to think, rather than, I have to work out, I have to go to the 6:30, or I have to do this strength workout to improve my muscles, or I have to do the HIIT fitness test because I want to get fitter. I can't be bothered, or I just don't want to. Just think, I get to do this. I get to do this stronger class to improve my strength, to prove to myself what I can do, and then also reap the rewards and see the strength in my body and see the muscle tone. I think I get to do this HIIT class. I get to do this, and then I get to feel energized for the rest of the day. So rather than thinking I have to, thinking I actually get to do this. This is actually a privilege. Like, it feels amazing to move my body. I can do this. My body, thank goodness, my body is healthy, and I can do this. And I'm going to repay my body by doing something good for my body. So that's one way to think of it. Another way to think about it is think about how you'll feel afterwards. You'll probably feel really, really good. Well, you will feel good. You'll be a bit sweaty, depending on what you've done. But you will never regret doing a workout, but you will regret not doing one. So what's the alternative? One, we put on our big girl panties, do it anyway, get on with it, and feel incredible afterwards. Be like, yeah, I did that. Two, don't see results, get frustrated, feel sluggish, feel less energized, and then go into a bit of a downward spiral. And if you feel like you are on that downward spiral, draw a line now. Draw a line. It's never too late. It's never too late to start spiraling upwards again. Just draw the line. It's the best thing to do. So that's what I would do. And a little trick, every time you do your workouts, think about how you feel straight afterwards. So just a quick one. Like, after HIIT this morning, everyone was saying, woof, that was hard, but I feel really good now. Remember that feeling. And every time you do a workout, just have 1 second just to ask yourself the question. Even say it out loud, because that reinforces it, actually. I know it feels a bit weird, but just do it. And then you will start to really, really think about exercise in this really positive light, an incredible way that it is, and how it should be seen. You'll start to associate exercise with feeling amazing, feeling stronger, feeling energized, and feeling proud of yourself. That is how to not see it as a chore. My knee can get stiff. I think it's arthritis and or my age. It could be a number of different things. And if your knee is feeling stiff and it's arthritis, I mean, again, I'm not a medical professional. This is definitely a question for a physio, really. But generally speaking, with arthritis, it is important to keep mobile, so to keep some mobility going. So it is important to be moving the joints. Of course, it's about finding that balance. We also need to allow our body to recover. So allowing for adequate recovery, and you know your body best, so you'll know how you feel if you've kind of overdone it a little bit, or if actually it's just kind of a normal sort of ache for you. But I think it's just making the necessary adjustments that you need to. So if your knee can get stiff, doing things, generally speaking, again, I'm not a physio, but doing things like your Pilates, if the impact hurts your knees, you could do low impact. So you could do things like sculpt, and impact can be good. Like, a bit of jumping can be good. It just depends on you, your body, how you feel, of course. Sometimes you can get joint aches through perimenopause, menopause. But if it is arthritis, yes, it can cause the knee to get a little bit stiff. You could try things like glucosamine, omega-3s. But then on the exercise side, your Pilates, your yoga escape, doing things that are going to strengthen the muscles around the knee, so like booty band stronger, but then also on the flip side, allowing adequate rest from these. And then with the cardio, if you want to do more lower impact, I give options in all of my classes, and you could also do things like sculpt, which is high intensity but low impact. But if you have a suspicion that, or you already know that it's arthritis, I would go and speak to your GP or speak to a physio, just to get that reinforcement there. But hopefully that's a little bit of food for thought. Am I too old to do some of your classes? No. Next question. No, on a serious note, no, age isn't a thing. You know, I just think that I'm a very big believer in you're as old as the person you want to be. So I think, and I've seen it, where a lot of people have said, oh, I can't do that, now, because I am, drop a number, because I'm XYZ, can't be doing those things now. Oh, better not be jumping now. And it's like, well, really? Like that's a way to accelerate your aging if you put yourself in that box. So the best thing to do is, rather than label yourself with a number, just actually see how you feel and go with how you feel. Exercise is the only way to reverse aging and to stay young. So keeping active and just not letting that limit you. We have squaddies in their 80s who don't let age be a number. They're not going to let that be a limiting factor. They're just going to get on and do what they enjoy. And variety is so important. The older you get, the more important it is to move your body. If you start shying away from certain exercises, so say things like stronger where we're using the weights, it can actually be pretty detrimental. So after the menopause as a woman, you get exponential muscle mass if you don't do anything about it. So you need to be doing strength classes. No one wants to be the little old lady who can't get out of a chair, or can't get up and down the stairs, or can't pick a cereal box out of the cupboard, or take the milk out of the fridge, or open the door because it's too heavy. No one wants to be that person, or at least we want to prolong that as much as possible, right? So the answer to that is no. Just see how you feel and make necessary adjustments in some of the classes as you need to, but no, it's not a thing. How can I create an effective fitness routine that fits around long working hours and mentally exhausting days without feeling burnt out or feel overwhelmed? You do it in the morning, first thing. Whether you are a morning person or not, you do it first thing in the morning. You just get up and go. So leave your clothes on. I'm sorry, that's my dishwasher. Can you hear that through the microphone? You might be able to. Anyway, that was the dishwasher. It may happen again. But that's what you do. You leave your clothes at the side of the bed, on the floor, or leave your equipment out. You can even get the workout that you want to do ready the night before, get up in the morning and do it. That way, when you've had a really long day and you feel exhausted, and it's the last thing you want to do, like I wouldn't want to do it then either after a really long day, and it's the last thing you want to do, you've already done it. And also it's a really energizing way to start the day. The hardest thing is just doing it. But as soon as you get into the routine of doing it, you just become that person who just does it, who just gets up first thing in the morning and does their workout. So that is number one, top tip. Get up in the morning, get it done, even if you don't feel like doing it. It's in a case of those, put on your big girl panties again, isn't it? But no, it will just become something that you just do, in all honesty. It will feel hard at the start, but then you'll just do it. So that's what you need to do. You can do that live or on demand, whatever works for you. But I would say try and get into routine. So that might be like Monday to Friday, that's what you do, depending on when your shifts are and things. But just do that, even if it's 10 minutes. Okay. I'm used to doing 1 meal per day with a snack mid. Let me try that again. I'm used to 1 meal per day with a snack mid-afternoon. The meal is usually dinner. I intermittent fast with my husband. I find 3 meals per day plus 2 snacks too much. Is this okay? Hey, whatever works for you is fine. Yeah. If that's working for you, if that's getting you results, if you feel energized, if you feel good, then yeah, do it. But if it's not working for you, you're not getting results, you sometimes, feel tired or irritable, or you've got no energy, or you're not seeing results from your workouts, then it's time to review. But if it's working for you, it's working for you. When life gets a lot and your mental health is bad, how do you keep up that motivation to keep going with your exercises? Now, that is a tough one. And I think it's the whole thinking about the alternative. And also, when your mental health isn't great, the best thing to do is to work out. Like, exercise is the best medicine. So it's about knowing that. I'm sure you probably do anyway, but knowing that, then just showing up for you, thinking, what's the alternative? I do a workout and I feel a bit better, or I don't, I'm not going to feel any better, and probably also feel even worse because I haven't been working out. So I also feel annoyed about that as well and feel upset about that. I think when your mental health is in a bad place, and please know as well, there's always someone you can talk to and reach out to. So please do reach out if you feel like your mental health is not in a good place, like talking therapies, or even reaching out in our squad. Like we've got the most supportive and lovely community, or even me, no one's going to judge you here. But what I would say is just show up for you, just showing up for you. And the hardest part can be getting there, but knowing that if you just keep showing up for you, you're doing your part, you will feel better. You'll reap the rewards. And depending on how you feel, sometimes if it's linked to stress or anxiety, sometimes doing a nice gentle calm yoga can really, really help. Sometimes just putting on, say, your favorite crazy Zumba where you're just going to dance around like you haven't got a care in the world can really help. And I think when your mental health is in a bad place, sorry, this is what I was going to say before, it's really nice to go into a little space. So maybe you go into a little room, you shut the door, you put your workout on, put your headphones in, or blast it out on the TV, however you do it. And just transport yourself to that different place, be in that workout in that moment, in that time, for that 20 minutes or half an hour, or if you're on the bolt-on area, 10 minutes, whatever it is. For that moment in time, all that matters is about you and how you're moving your body in that moment in time. So escape's probably the wrong word, but you get what I mean. It's like a bit of escape from everything that's going on. So just remember that, and getting into a routine where it becomes something you just do. So just doing it anyway. Put it in your diary, journal it in on Sunday, and then just show up for you. Show up for you no matter what, even on the days you really don't want to, knowing that it's the best thing for you in that moment. I'm doing a 5K in November. What classes will help me train, and do you have any tips? Hey, okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. Pilates, Stronger, and Booty Band and Yogascape or yoga are going to be your top classes if you're training for a 5K. And I would say with the 5K, take your time. Take your time with it. It's important to do the cross training. If you just run, it is going to be begging an injury. So it's really important to be improving your mobility, releasing your muscles, and also practicing strength. The good thing about Pilates is you've got that rotation in there as well. Whereas with running, it isn't that just one plane of movement, like straight forwards. So doing Pilates can be really, really great because you've got that rotational movement in there, a little bit of all sorts. Also, if you're just getting started, know that it's okay to run walk. You don't have to run the whole thing. Build it up gradually. So say a couple of runs and then be doing your cross training around it. So cross training meaning other workouts other than running, so to complement it. So that would be my tips. Stronger, Pilates, yoga, Yogascape, and Booty Band. They're going to be your go-tos. So you're covering the cardio with your running. So let's think about what else your body needs. It needs strength and it needs core and flexibility work. How do I get the right technique for a push-up? I've never been able to do them. Go to On Demand, hit How To, and there's a whole section on push-ups where I break them all down and all different types of ones. So that's how you're going to do it. And I also talk you through the move, the different techniques, and then how you can also look at your technique as well. So head to that area. I'm just smiling at one of the comments on here. You've got mine, haven't you, Lorna? I have, Sarah. Please, can you give me some guidance as to what weights you use for different things? I know it's individual to everyone, but if you could give a sense of what beginner's level weight is for some exercises and what we should be working up towards, that would be really helpful. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. It's really, really individual. It's so individual. For something like stronger, say with the barbell, you could start with a 2.5K on each side. And from there, I guide you through. So you need to change your weights. So for example, for squats, I would say 2 to 3 times. So you could go to a 5K from there, for example. And then for chest, I'll say, right, take a third off. So you could have the 2.5s, then a 1.25 or something like that from the warm-up. So that could be a place to start. We've got some recommended weights on the equipment guide as well, so you could have a look at that. But that would be where I would kind of begin and use stronger as a bit of a benchmark and then just see how it feels and adjust from there. I hope that's useful. How soon will this week's live lessons become available on demand? Within 24 hours, they're always on demand. Apart from if it's a release. A release is where it's a pre-choreographed class, like Stronger, like Yoga Escape, like Zumba, where if I put up Stronger 23 and we did it for 4 weeks, and the next time we did Stronger, I put it up again, and the next time we did it, I put it up again, you would have like 7 Stronger 23s, which is like the exact same class, so there'd be no point. So they all go on demand, apart from if we're doing a release like Yoga Escape number 4 or Stronger number 23, and you'll be able to find that one on demand. So you'll still be able to see it on demand, but it's not like the exact same version every time with me in a different outfit. Next question. At the moment, I've been doing exercise every day. Is it okay, or is it important to have a day off? I'm mixing up the class I do, but alongside this, I'm doing a lot of running. Is it possible to overdo it? Absolutely possible to overdo it. You definitely need a rest day. Minimum 1. Absolute minimum. And if you're doing a lot of training and you're also doing running, sometimes, work hard, play hard kind of thing. The harder you work out, the more you need to rest as well. Like, allow your body recovery. Otherwise, we end up being a bit of a hamster on a wheel, and we're just going and going and going and trying to work out. Yeah, I want to get stronger, I want to get fitter, and the body's like, whoa, I have no time to recover. And then you get frustrated because you think, oh, do all this exercise and no one would even know. You can't tell, or it doesn't even look like it. I've seen so many people who do that, and so many people who are like really into their running and doing like really long distance. I'm just not seeing any results. I'm not losing any weight, or I'm not getting toned. It's like, well, your body isn't actually recovering. It's not got time. It's not got time to recover. You're creating little micro tears in your muscles, and they're not being allowed to repair back. Also, that's where you can get niggles. Some people with overtraining, they can get a bit irritable. They don't see results. They can lose their strength. They feel really tired all the time, feel exhausted. You can feel stressed, increase your cortisol levels. So it's really important to get that rest in there, 100%. So minimum 1 rest day. If you're doing a lot, maybe two. So it's really important to mix it up. And when I say rest day, if you're saying, I work out every day, but like, I don't know, Sunday is a stretch, for example, a stretch class, that can actually help you recover because it improves the mobilization of your body and just getting the blood moving around the body, helping to repair the muscles. So something like that would be okay. You can count that as like part of a rest day, like a bit of an active recovery, or a very, very gentle walk, but that doesn't mean a gentle 10-mile walk. That doesn't count, or a gentle 5-mile walk. Just some gentle recovery for your body. Struggling to hear you, Lorna. Oh no. Let me see. Can you imagine if I've done the whole Q&A and no one can hear me? Thanks, Jade. 1 second. Can you imagine if I've done the whole Q&A and no one can hear me? Oh, I can hear me. Thanks, Jade. 1 second. Can everyone else hear me? Can everyone else hear me? I mean, you may have struggled to hear that because of my dishwasher. I'll try and I'm going to come a little bit closer. Leslie, you can hear me okay? Amazing. Jade, it could have been my dishwasher. It keeps going. I'm definitely sat in the wrong place. But you know when you've got your setup here, like I've set up a microphone, I've set up the blinds. Oh, that's better. I think it was the dishwasher, Jade. Where was I? Tell me what you couldn't hear, and then I can go over that again because I don't want you to miss anything. But essentially, we're talking about overtraining and doing a lot. But yes, you need minimum 1 to 2 rest days per week. You need to be changing it up. So if you're doing running, like we've already spoken about, that's your cardio kind of ticked off. Of course, you can do other cardio classes that you enjoy, but really your main focus wants to be 1, strength. So getting a couple of strength workouts in there every week. And then your Pilates, yoga to help work your core. So Pilates is for your core. Yogascape is going to be for mobilizing and for your flexibility. So we're not getting really, really stiff. So they're going to be the things that you want to be focusing on. And absolutely having rest. Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's anything else to add to that question. Yeah. Okay. I hope that's answered it. But anything else on that one, just let me know. But I'll definitely be looking at your diary and seeing what will be best for your body. How important is breakfast? Can it be delayed until 10 a.m. when my wake up time is 6? It's up to you. If you want to. It's completely up to you. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. Personally, I would feel awful if I waited till 10. My hands would be in the snack cupboard, big time. I'd be looking for some quick energy, and I'd probably feel a little bit rubbish because I work out in the morning and I need to refuel my body. This is me though. This is me speaking. If you are, say, you wake up at 6 and then you go into the office and you sat there till 10, and actually you don't feel hungry, your mood feels fine, your energy levels feel fine, and you feel okay in yourself, then yeah. But it's really important just to monitor how you feel. Like, what are your food choices if you wait until 10? How does your energy feel? What are your hunger levels like? Are you going to be doing a workout? So all of these questions to ask yourself. But if it works for you, and like I said with the first part, then yeah, fine. How else can I increase water intake other than just drinking water? You could have low sugar squash. You could add things to your water, like cucumber or lemon or lime, and just keep that in the fridge. But it's definitely important to drink water, 100%. I've actually got some here right now in this reusable cup. But no, it is important. I know sometimes water can be a bit boring. You can also get like water from some of your food, so like watermelon, cucumber. Technically that's mainly water, but I wouldn't rely on a cucumber to get your water for the day. So just making it more fun, just putting some fun stuff in your water. You can get those bottles, can't you, that infuse, what are they called? Those bottles where it's like you run your water, what are they? Anyway, just like infusions basically. You can do that. Okay. How to incorporate the best diet and exercise for menopausal symptoms, bloating, fatigue, brain fog. Oh my goodness, where to begin with this? This is like a podcast in itself. So I'll try and keep this short because we've got four questions, and then it's time. Menopause, bloating, fatigue, and brain fog. So if you're going through the menopause right now, first thing to do is to track everything. Keep a track on things that you're eating, and try and work out what makes you feel bloated. So you want to be avoiding things potentially like your sodas, so like your Diet Cokes, your lemonades, if you feel like you're getting a lot of bloating. Our bodies because this dip in estrogen when you're going through the menopause or the perimenopause. The perimenopause is like before the official menopause. Menopause is that one moment in time when you haven't had a bleed for 12 months. That is the menopause in that split second. But everyone just says menopause is in like this whole time, if you like. Perimenopause is anything before then, and postmenopause is anything after that moment in time. But you want to be just seeing what affects you. So because this dip in estrogen, our body is sent into this like roller coaster of how we react to certain foods. So a dip in estrogen can actually make the food go through your tract slower. So it starts to ferment higher up, which can cause bloating. So it's seeing what foods kind of agree with your body and not so much anymore. So for example, a lot of people find they just can't really tolerate things like onions or roasted vegetables as much anymore. A lot of fibrous foods that they can't really tolerate anymore, but it's finding what triggers you. So with the bloating side, a little bit of that. You want your protein to be your main focus. That is going to be the main focus. We want to maintain as much lean muscle mass as possible. So when we go through the menopause, this dip in estrogen causes an exponential decline in your muscle mass, unless you're eating enough protein and you're doing your workouts. So for the workout side of things, strength training minimum twice a week, and then seeing how you feel. It can be a very stressful time, and sometimes doing a HIIT workout to put your body under stress when you're already under stress is stress on stress, and it might not be the right thing for you that day. That day, it might be better to do a yoga or a Pilates, or you might just want to punch the air and do a combat, whatever it is for you. But you've got to kind of gather that data on your body and on you. It's a changing time, isn't it? It's a new chapter, and our bodies go through so much. They really do. So I feel like that is a whole topic in itself. And I have done a podcast on this, but I'd love to talk about this more. We actually did October's Menopause Awareness Month. I don't know if you know. We actually did a 14-day menopause course. Was it the beginning of last month that we did it? I think we did. We opened it up to squaddies and non-squaddies. I can quite easily run that again if anyone wants me to do that. And then we can talk about all these different kinds of things, because it is it's not something that can be covered straight away. It's not something I can like really cover in just one podcast. I really want to delve into it. You see, I'm like itching and stopping myself from talking at the same time. If you are interested, if you want me to do that, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I can look at running that in October, and we can do that 14-day menopause course, and we can talk all about these kind of things like the food, the exercise, the brain fog and fatigue and everything. What can I do to help my motivation to get moving more? Action. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm just not motivated. I just think, well, what are you doing now? Are you doing it? No, I'm not motivated enough. Well, you're never going to be then. You've got to just bite the bullet, and you've just got to go. You have to do it. Action creates motivation. And then once you do it, you feel amazing, and you just want to carry on and keep doing it. And don't rely on motivation. Rely on routine. Get yourself into routine. Do your workout at the same time every day, Monday to Friday. And then eventually it become a habit, and it'll become something you just do. And it's part of you. And you don't even need to feel motivated or not, because that's just what you do. You do your workout that time. It's you. What should my exercise plan consist of on a weekly basis from a swimmer? Okay, so you've got your kind of, I suppose, cardio a bit, and a bit of strength, a bit of core in swimming. So how can we complement that? I would be doing things, so cardio-wise, like more high-intensity bursts, just to help with your cardio fitness while you're swimming. I would also be doing some core work, so some Pilates, and I would be doing some mobility, so maybe some yoga or yoga escape for like the shoulders and the hips and the hamstrings, and then some strength work too. So core, strength and flexibility. And then in terms of the cardio side of things, I would be looking at doing some more high bursts, like high intensity bursts. I'm getting twinges of sciatica after classes. I did aerobics in school, followed by booty band. Lorna is so fast in aerobics. I was having trouble keeping up, so maybe I wasn't careful enough. I've had it before when I did Joe Wicks, and it tends to be the standing to down on the floor and back up again. I need to be doing cardio and strength, but I'm not sure how to stop this from happening. Okay, you just got to take things in your time. So some of our aerobics are really fast. So picking a different cardio class maybe for now, just while that's feeling, a bit tender, could be really beneficial. So you've got things like our power walking, that could be like a good one to do. Things like sculpt, although there is some getting up and down in that one, so you're just going to have to be super careful, take your time and adjust according to your body. Now, with sciatica, if you haven't seen anybody about it, it might be beneficial to see someone about it. But sciatica, for those of you that don't know, it is where you get pain in your sciatic nerve, and it can feel like a pain that runs from the back of your body down your glutes, so your bottom, and then into your leg, and sometimes even lower, so going down sort of that area, generally speaking. And it can be really quite painful. But gentle mobilization is meant to help. Pilates is meant to be really good for it too, but it just depends. It really depends. So this is definitely a question for physio. But just, yeah, especially taking your time with the up and down exercises, 100%. Hello, I'm wondering if there's a greater benefit in using weights rather than resistance bands. I just don't want to have weights lying around. Space issues in kids. Are there resistance band classes? Yes, we've got bodycon. And it depends. It depends what you're after. Like, the booty bands are great for shaping the butt and the glutes and more like mobility side. Whereas the weights, if you are serious about shaping and tone your body, you want to get some weights. You want to get some weights so you can work your upper body more as well. You can do stuff with resistance bands, but it's a bit restricted. I would say, ideally, yeah, just get yourself some weights. Like the barbells and things, you can take the weights off and put them into a little corner, and you can have like the barbell tucked underneath the sofa even. You can put it under the sofa. So there's ways and means, but I would say if you are looking for results in your body shape and tone, I would be getting a barbell, or definitely at least some hand weights. All right, team, there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of that Q&A. Thank you all so much for your questions. And I will see you if you are coming to, obviously, if you come into class tomorrow, or if you come into the live replay tonight. And I will see you at the nutrition workshop, which I was talking about at the start. So Nutrition 101, and that is going to be at 6 p.m. this Sunday. And it will also be going into the coaching area if you can't make it. Anyway, take care, team, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.